Hey guys, thank you so much for being here this morning. This week we are in session 7 of team building here. We're going to talk a little bit about recruiting top talent. But before we get into that, we're going to kind of go through what we covered last session. So we discussed staff systems, the importance of putting staff systems into place. There's kind of 4 key elements here. One, they empower your team. They give you the strength to grow. Recruit gives you the ability to do everything, but most importantly, grow. Communication becomes easier. And if you guys know me, communication is everything. I think it solves 99% of the problems in our business. Having the right people in place, having the right systems in place just makes that communication a lot more fluid. Like I said earlier, it sets you up to grow. Without systems in place, yes, you can grow, but it makes it a lot more difficult. I always talk about that being on that hamster wheel. And as I grew my business, that hamster wheel got bigger and bigger, and I was working a lot harder than I should have been. And then lastly, all of these things, it just provides value to your team, and value is huge. We're going to touch on it a little bit today, because without value, you cannot grow a team successfully and you cannot recruit. So let's jump into it. All right. Recruiting top talent. Depending on where you're at in the country, I know the market is different everywhere. I'm here in the Dallas-Fort Worth market. We have been blessed for the last 12, 15 years. I mean, really historically, that the market has always been very, very, very steady. During 08, 09, we did feel a little bit of pain, but we did not feel it anything like the East or West Coast. During COVID, we had a really, really good run. In about a 2-year span, home prices were up about 45%, which generally doesn't happen here. It was a little bit scary. Over the last 2 months, now we are finally feeling that. The market is changing here, and I know for the most part around the country, it is changing as well. So there's basically 2 things you can do when the market starts to trend the opposite way. You can sit up against the wall and cross your fingers, or you can look at opportunities for growth. And I think there is a huge opportunity to recruit agents in a shifting market. There's a quote here from Chirag that I like to post. Some agents are going to be wildly successful in this new market, and others are going to be out of business quick. It's the same market. The outcome is your choice. And I think what he means by that is taking action. It's really tough for us as agents to just go out there and put our foot on the gas and spend when the income isn't coming in like it was in 2020, 2021. So I like to be more thoughtful about where you're putting your income. That's why, discovering your value proposition, looking at where your business comes from, all those things we've discussed in the previous sessions are critical. So when it comes to recruiting, though, this is huge. It was tough for me to recruit during COVID because everyone was a real estate agent. It didn't matter if they were with mom and pop LLC real estate or with Compass. They were making money. Now that is changing. And I've always said that the value of Compass is going to shine in a shifting market. The tools, the marketing, everything they provide, the culture. And we're starting to see that. So recruiting, there's a huge opportunity for recruiting in this shifting market. So how do you recruit top talent? We're going to go through some tips that I've used, some tips that I've heard from other agents around the country, other successful agents, and then also shifted a little bit to how we're going to leverage Compass to recruit as well. I start with this. This is just a little digital social media post that I post every month. Whether I'm looking to recruit agents or not, it shows value. It shows success to my clients. And I consistently post this, whether or not I'm looking to recruit people. And we're going to talk more in depth about this here in a few slides. So let's start. How do I recruit top talent, right? the first thing you're going to want to do, and I say this on every session, is you've got to figure out what your value prop is. I call it my core four. And I think week 2, we talked about the only 4 reasons people join teams. That's brand, that's culture, that's opportunities, and support. Those are the only 4 things. So when you're looking at recruiting, figure out what you're best at. You know, most team leads, most teams want to be rock stars at all 4 of these. You very well can be. But generally, most teams are really, really good. If they want to be successful, they're really, really good at 2 of these, 1 or 2 of these. So where does that fall for you? And that's how you want to build your recruiting. Because again, agents that are looking to be recruited now, they're looking for one of these 4. They're looking for all 4 of these. But most importantly, where are you where's your value with these 4? You know, back during COVID, and the trend I'm seeing now is, you know, that in each market's different, but here, that $5 to $10 million producer, that is a great agent to have on your team. You know, they make a good living, they make 6 figures, they're doing well. But here's the difference. During COVID, if they sold $8 million, this year they're probably selling 4. That's at least here. So they were invincible during COVID, but now they're starting to question themselves. They're starting to look, you know, especially those individual agents that are out there on an island. They're struggling. They're looking for that support. They're looking for that team culture. They're looking for more opportunities, whether that's through leads, which I don't like that word, leads, you know, builder relationships, open houses, whatever those opportunities are, and most importantly, brand. So figuring out your value proposition is key, because those agents that were individuals that were doing really, really well now, they're starting to second guess. And this is the time of year to really put your foot down to look at recruiting. So let's move forward. So here's some tips for recruiting agents. Kind of talked about it on the last one. You've got to base your recruiting around your core 4. So look at those core 4, and that's the type of agents you want to recruit. One thing that I do that has been super successful, I create monthly social media posts, like the one you saw back here, right there. We are hiring rockstar agents. If you're looking to take your business to the next level, dream big, collaborate without ego, contact the Pastana Group to learn more. Not only does that get in front of agents that follow you on social media, that also gets in front of your clients. That post, even if you're not looking to grow a team, I would still copy it and post it, because people see, you don't know how many times other agents from outside of Compass, other agents within Compass, past clients, current clients, they see that post and they go, wow, you must be doing great. And you're growing, you're building. They see that post equals success. So it's a marketing tool as well. And you know what? Number one thing in a shifting downward market, it's free. So that, you know, consistently create posts like that. And it will really, really help you when it comes to recruiting. 2, to go along with that, make sure if you do have a current team, show them off. We just did a team building event. I like to do one every quarter for our monthly office meeting. We went to this place called Evo. It's a bowling alley with games and all of that stuff. Well, I had my videographer there. He took photos, he filmed a little video. We post that on social, on Facebook, LinkedIn, all of that. One, it's giving exposure to my team. My clients are seeing it. Again, that equals success. Other agents are seeing it. They're seeing we're having fun, we're eating, we're drinking, we're bowling. You know, and most importantly, what it's doing is diving into that core 4. Like, a big part of my team is culture. I'm huge on it. I always say culture eats strategy for breakfast. That's our team motto. So you watch those videos, you look at those photos, and you're seeing a team that's excited, they're having fun, they're happy, they're successful. And those are the type of things that other agents are going to see and be attracted to. Make sure you're building your non-Compass agent relationships through deals. we all do deals, right? We all close a current transaction with another agent. A lot of times that other agent's an idiot, right? We want nothing to do with them. But every once in a while, you have that transaction with that great agent. You connect. Do they fit in your core four? Do they fit in your values, your team values? Maybe that's an agent to go after. I tell my agents all the time. I mean, we all have bad transactions with other agents, and it's really easy to butt heads. But you've got to be the bigger man or woman in those transactions, and tuck your tail, because you're going to cross paths with those agents again. But for the good ones, those are ones you might want to recruit. They might be struggling now. They might be an individual agent that's looking to take their business to the next step. So make sure you have a good reputation with agents outside of Compass. Lastly, know your Compass individual agents. Fun fact, and as we all know, Compass, the retaining of agents in Compass is the highest in the industry. But fun fact, the ones that leave the company are individual agents. And this is my opinion. The reason I think that is the case is Compass provides us so much. There's so many tools, so much information. There's coaching, there's marketing, there's this, there's that. And it can be overwhelming for an agent. And I think sometimes there's so much thrown at them, they lose traction, and their hamster wheel gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. A great example is an agent who is now on my team. She's been on for about, let's call it 2 years, Ruthie Adams. She was an individual agent, came over from KW about 3 years ago. And her first year at Compass, in our office, she struggled. And it was because she had so much going on and was trying to learn everything. And her hamster wheel was big, big, big. So we actually had a chance to talk, and I was able to bring her on my team, and now she is striving. She's a rock star, and she needed that support. She needed that Amber, my operations manager, to handle her paperwork. She needed some opportunities because she's a rock star at open houses. She just didn't have them. Well, this week I had 14 of them, right? So she's all over it. So know who your individual agents are in the office, and build those relationships with them. So to continue, kind of the next phase of that is focusing on Compass, guys. We've got to learn to leverage Compass and what they provide. One of the most impactful ways I recruit is I have a great relationship with my office sales manager and our strategic growth managers. They know, I've sat down with them, and they know that if an individual agent in Compass is struggling, they know that I am interested in having them on my team. And those individual agents, where do they go when they're struggling? They go to their salesman. They go to the sales manager to talk to them. That's how Ruthie became a part of my team. She went to our sales manager. The sales manager came to me and said, look, Ruthie's got a ton of potential. She's awesome. She's just struggling. You need to talk to her. Boom, it happened. So be vocal with your sales managers and growth managers, because they are the ones recruiting. They know who will be a good fit, who might not be a good fit for your team. And when you get those agents, or when you sit down with those agents, if they're non-Compass agents, you've got to understand the Compass tools. I always talk about separating yourself from the competition. What are things you can provide or do that other agents from other brokerages can't? Because a lot of the stuff we do the same, but there are a few things at Compass, especially with the tools, that definitely separate us. Compass Concierge, that's a huge value for myself and my team. An agent coming from another brokerage, when I pitch Compass Concierge to them, they're like, whoa, what's the catch? That is awesome. I show them stats on how that will affect my business, how that has positively affected my business. The insight report. I actually just sent an email to Robert Refkin and Rory right before this call. The insight report, in my opinion, is the most undervalued tool at Compass. I'll be honest, Robert might not like to hear this, but 2 years ago, it didn't matter. We didn't need it. We put a sign in the yard, the home sold. We didn't even have a chance to discuss that report with the seller. Now that homes are sitting on the market, the fact that I can show my seller that 10% of my Compass online views are coming from San Francisco, and then I can immediately create a digital ad to those zip codes and reach out to the top 10 agents in that market, someone like Butch Hayes, and let them know about my listing. If I pitch that to a seller, they're like, wow, that's impactful. So understanding the Compass tools is important. Marketing Center goes along with that. That's where you're going to create your social media assets. Marketing Center has been huge for me. We do a lot of our marketing on social media. We use a lot of those assets. It saves time, and it's easy. It's super easy. Lastly, understanding and knowing your Compass ICA agreement. The great thing about Compass is we are one brokerage. So that's a huge positive in multiple facets, from being able to market your listings around the country. We're not competing with other offices. We're all one, we're all one big Compass. We're all one brokerage. But the big thing on the ICA agreement, and I know it's different in each region, but I can only speak for mine. If you bring on a team member, in a nutshell, basically it says they work for you. Everything runs through you first, and then Compass is up here. So understanding how to leverage that. I mean, it's not black and white, but there is kind of an unwritten rule at Compass. If an agent leaves your team, it's up to, in my team agreement, it says that it's up to me whether they stay at Compass. So once these agents see these tools and they're on your team for a while and their business is growing and they're utilizing and they see the value, they're not going to want to leave. But understanding your ICA agreement that they really can't, it makes a big impact on recruiting. Compass fortunately allows us to set our teams up for success, to where my brokerage, where I came from 8 years ago, did not. And they wanted individual agents because they were built on a transaction, desk fees, paper fees, all of that fun stuff, to where Compass isn't. So definitely learn how to leverage Compass. So that's really it. This was short and sweet. If you guys have any questions on this, this is really, really, really my wheelhouse, the recruiting side of it. I'm happy to talk with you offline. You can always email me, shoot me a message on social media, text me. But guys, just in summary, recruiting, I think in a downward market, people tend to just want to sit still, but now is the opportunity to recruit. It's here. It's the time of year. It's the market. This is the time to grow your team, because teams are the future of real estate. I'm 1000% convinced of that. I think that's going to separate the average teams the average agents from the great teams here in the next 5 to 10 years. The individual agent is going to get weeded out of this business. So feel free to reach out to me anytime for any questions. Next session in 2 weeks. Everyone loves this. This is probably everyone's favorite session. We talk about team splits. I'll go through kind of how my team is set up. Again, it's not perfect. It works for some people. It doesn't work for some people, but I have a pretty aggressive opinion on how this has all changed in the last 10 and 15 years. So I'll go through how I have my team set up and how it's made myself and my team very successful, and how to retain agents that way. So we'll go through that in 2 weeks. So again, any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. Appreciate you guys. You have a great rest of your day. Take care.